It rained so much this morning, but it got me thinking about like rain in D&D, and like I don't account for precipitation sometimes in the game, and it's I really should do that. Welcome to Hobby Vlog number 6. Yeah, we're talking about rain and that exciting stuff. And genuinely, I did think about rain in the game and other forms of precipitation causing issues within the story, and it's not an element that I ever really like leaned into, but I'm definitely going to think about that and work on that now. So hobby stuff for the day, trying to schedule our next session. October's going to be a rough month for us. I think it's just going to be 3 of us here for this next session. So I didn't want to continue on with the main story because we're literally in the middle of not necessarily a combat initiative, but an initiative of sorts. And I didn't want to finish that up with people not being here. So I had an idea, and it is based around Tommy's character, Krylon, the dead Warforged, and said, all right, well, where's the Warforged soul at? As I said in a previous video, like the Warforged, when they were created, they were unused souls that were put into these mechanical constructed bodies. So, okay, well, where does it go from there? What does that look like? And I've said it's from the Nyx, is where all these unused souls come from. So now my brain's like, okay, we can take a trip to the Nyx. All right, well, we won't have any of the actual player characters. I think it's just going to be Walker and Tommy joining me on this expedition. So a nice little two-man party. Walker's been wanting to try out the monk class, and so we made him a monk of the appropriate level. So we're going to try that out and see how he likes that. But we're also going to kind of tell a story involving Krylon, because Krylon's return to the game is inevitable at this point. Nobody's supposed to know that. Forget that part, guys. And I think it would be really fun, because that way it's not like, oh, well, you did this stuff with this character and Krylon just like wakes up. I like having that extra element of things. And now I can explore the Nyx and kind of really work on the little machinations of how it works within my D&D world. And I've got some really fun ideas, and I'm working on compiling all those, and I will talk about them probably after we do that session. That way there is a surprise for those guys, and it's not oh yeah, I remember this from your video. But yeah, that's one thing that I've been working on. And with that, like, I've thought of like, all right, well, how would monsters work in there? And I had an idea. This monster is from the Theros book. It's the Doomwake Giant. I actually have a miniature of that somewhere, and I thought that would be fun, because I've not used that miniature before, and it's a really cool model. I've not got to use this guy before. He looks amazing. And I just think setting him down on the table and saying, oh yeah, this thing's meandering around, what are you going to do? I think that will be fun for them. And, Walker will get to experience the monk, and Tommy can kind of get reacclimated to Krylon, his favorite fighter. In some other news, Chris and I have been talking. We've played 5th edition since 2014. Like, we've been playing basically non-stop for this entire 11 years. And we got to talking, and we have so many like third-party books, like K-Wood Publishing, Kobold Press, the Dungeon Dudes, Dungeons of Drakenheim, And there's a lot of cool like third-party subclasses in there. There's a lot of cool third-party adventures. And we got to talking and we said, you know, I think it would be really fun to run a third-party only adventure. And, you know, like, yes, you know, use third-party spells, but, you know, you'd still have your core player's handbook spells, but you could use these different fun-looking, fun-sounding third-party subclasses. And, you know, there's a few subclasses I want to try. One that immediately comes to mind is the Commander from Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakenheim. Really, like, what this subclass kind of does, it kind of takes some Battle Master-esque things and mixes it with what Purple Dragon Knight should be. And it's literally, it's the commander on the battlefield. I've had my eye on it ever since I got this book, so I really would like to play that. But then we were like, all right, well, what adventure would we run? And that answer was an immediate K-Wood Publishing. K-Wood has been great friends to the Blue Dragon Guild channel. Andrew is such a wonderful person. I will support K-Wood Publishing until K-Wood Publishing says, yeah, we're not going to do anything anymore. And then I will keep pushing K-Wood Publishing because they really do release such great products. They're from their monster books, from their world book for the World of Mir, and now they've got these adventures, which I'll admittedly have looked through very little, just because I'm like, I don't know if I would run this adventure or if I would play in this adventure, so I don't really want any spoilers. We've got The Fall of Rivenhelm and Rise of the Mushroom King. We've got the third K-Wood adventure, which is Ghosts of Wrath. It just came through on the digital copy, and hard copy should be coming sometime soon. And right now, there's just a couple days left. There is the fourth adventure, which is Lost in Feyland. And personally, the Feyland, like the Monsters of Feyland and Monsters of Feyland 2, are some of my favorite books to use from K-Wood. Like, there's just so many great monsters, so I know that the adventure Lost in Feyland will be immaculate. So yeah, we're talking about doing a like third-party only kind of game. Honestly, I don't know when that will happen because Chris is literally getting ready to run Frost Maiden. So, you know, potentially it could be sometime after that's done, but, you know, we're just gonna kind of roll with it and see what happens. So yeah, that's what I've got for hobby vlog number 6. And thank you everyone for watching. And until next time, keep the dice rolling.